This is Tom, our superintendent, Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa, coming to you with this week's Believe in the Blue update. Want to update you in the board meeting from earlier this week and tell you about some upcoming events. A few of those upcoming events includes tonight. Tonight we play West Branch in high school basketball, and that's at home. Our bowling team travels to DeWitt for a meet down there, so that's a positive for everyone to be involved tonight that way and see some different things with the dance teams performing at halftime, things like that. So please come out and enjoy games. Remember, JV games start at 4:30. High school girls start at about 6, and then varsity boys or the high school varsity girls start at about 6. Varsity boys then start at roughly 7:30 that way. Then tomorrow, we actually have a robotics meet here. Miss Van Vleck and Mr. Marshall and their teams will be performing here at Bellevue, our only home robotics meet of the year. They go to about 7, 8 of those a year, and this is about their third one. So just want to encourage you to come out for that. If you haven't been to a robotics meet, I strongly encourage you. A lot of thinking goes on there, and a lot of just adjusting to the situations goes on. So our kids do a great job with that. So I encourage you to attend that. And then also we have high school basketball at Mid Prairie Wellman tomorrow, on Saturday. So that starts at 1 o'clock. In addition to that, then on Monday we have our high school music concert, and that starts at 6:30. Thursday evening is our middle school music concert, also starting at 6:30. But in between those two concerts, we have a home basketball versus Comanche, and that is once again beginning at 4:30 with JV games and varsity games with girls starting at 6 and the boys starting at roughly 7:30. So I encourage you to come out to those events. Remember, we do go on winter break after next Friday the 21st, and we do not return to school until January 3rd. Some things from the board meeting. We approved a couple of resignations. Mary Hinkie, who's been a cook in the district here working in food service for 19 and a half years, is actually retiring effective December 31st. So she'll be starting her last week next week. And then Rhonda Cunningham, who's been an associate for roughly 21 years, is also retiring at the end of December. So thank you for their service that way. I know the board felt very strongly about the positive service they provided for our students in multiple ways through the years. We also had one hire. Cole Clausen will be our fresh soft boys basketball coach. He's already been doing that on a volunteer basis based on numbers and games. He will be doing that more so. So that's a positive there too, uh, adding more support for our students on the floor and in the classroom as well. At the meeting the other night, Representative Andy McKeon attended. He talked about last legislative session, helped out with transportation equity, which gave the Bellevue schools some additional money. He talked about flexibility and funding, excuse me, which has also helped our districts out. Talk about state supplemental aid, the SSA, where that will be for next year. He does not know. He's hoping that it's decided early, so schools know. He also talked some about just the upcoming session and some new people. We talked about children and mental health and the services that are needed there. So we had a great conversation with Representative McKean, who is also the chair of the House Ethics Committee. And I just want to say Representative McKean has been a great individual to work with through the years. And I know that Carrie Kelker, our new state senator, will also be great to work with. Have not had a chance to visit with her face to face, but have talked in other ways. And she is planning a visit at some point to the Bellevue schools. So looking forward to the legislative session starting and having some conversations there. I encourage all of you to contact the legislatures as well to let them know what's going on. We gave some facility updates. We had a grade level parent meeting, grade level parent leader meeting a week ago Monday. Then we had a facilities committee meeting just the other night. That way, we're still following through with the land purchase, facilities improvements. Talked about a variety of different things there. But we also talked about having Matt Gillespie attend our board meeting on January 14th. So that will likely be happening that way. Just some other improvements we're looking at for facilities that way, installing some new lights, LED lights, brighter lights, more energy efficient, fixing a middle school girls locker room. We also need to buy some technology from student computers to teacher computers that need to be updated this year, to Promethean boards and some other things like that. So a lot of things there. Nothing has been approved. We also need to get a new bus. That way, we've held off on that for the last 3 years. So we are looking to do that this upcoming year, and we'll likely put it out for bids in January after the meeting. So just a few things there. Those are all once again included on the website under comment highlights that way. We approved some board policies for service animals in classrooms. for public meetings that way, for speakers at public meetings, technology and data security, district emergency operation plans. Just like I said, the public participation in board meetings, which really isn't a change. We limit people to 5 minutes in talking at this time, unless they need more, which we've done that in the past at times. But just some things that way. We approved early graduates, Anna Wise, Tyler Linden, and Brianna Weimer-Skirch are planning on graduating early at this point, so their last days will be in January. They will still be able to participate in graduation ceremonies, prom, and other things like that way. The board also approved the supplemental amount for dropout prevention for the 2019-2020 school year, and for Bellevue that is a total of $149,513. So that will be upcoming. That will be submitted here in the near future to the state of Iowa. Excuse me. We also talked about career and technical education planning and where we're at with that. Maquoketa, Eastern Valley, and Bellevue have been talking about sharing some programs in regard to welding, computer science possibly at Eastern Valley, some health science academy things, some other college credit courses on the Maquoketa campus, and possibly looking at some type of certification in electricity, carpentry, or something like that. We may be adding to that in some way as well to some of those things. We offer many of those programs already, but how can we enhance the programs? It is not to replace a program in the Bellevue schools, but to enhance programming in the Bellevue schools, allowing our students more opportunities for learning beyond the traditional education system that way. Had Comet Reading and Reflection, and this month we dealt with creativity. George Couros, who I think I've showed the book Innovator's Mindset in the past. He talked about curiosity and creativity and how that is helpful in education. Curiosity leads to innovation. Just a few themes here. Curiosity leads to innovation. Curiosity contributes to better performance. Curiosity fosters better communication. Curiosity helps reduce conflict. And it can also lead to better solutions. There's one quote there that I think is really important, and I think if we all think about it, we forget that if students leave school less curious than when they started, we have failed them. We have to keep kids curious about learning and wanting to learn. If we fail to do that, we're failing in multiple ways. And to go with that, that connects into the whole personalized learning, recognize students' interests, making it relevant for them. We have to continue to do that, whether that's a preschool or third grader, a fifth grader, a ninth grader, or a 12th grader. We have to do that. Also talked just briefly about our aquaponics program with Bellevue Big. Actually grew lettuce to serve on the salad bar. So many schools with their romaine lettuce were not serving a lot of lettuce. We had our own homegrown lettuce here. So that was a positive that way. Shared some other things, had some notes from Iowa Association of School Boards board members talked about that way to a certain point. And just how we need to look beyond the traditional education systems and really look at what we can provide students in the future that way in everything that we do. We also went into closed session for the superintendent's mid-year evaluation, which was brief that way and went well. But other than that, I hope everyone has a good week. I encourage you to come out before the holiday break and catch basketball. There are home games on Tuesday evening. Again, I want to encourage you to come to, along with tonight against West Branch. Check out the bowling team, check out the wrestling team. A lot of things happening that way. Wrestling was at Mid Prairie last night, so they've had a very successful year to this point as well. So encourage everyone to just, if you have questions, let us know, and we will go from there. Have a great one.